Russia intensifies attacks on key Ukrainian cities as the fighting rages for 7th day in northeast and south. In-person classes at primary schools resume, at secondary schools soon, says Dipumoni. People's voting rights won't be snatched anymore, says the new Chief Election Commissioner. Assalamu alaikum. This is Nusrat Islam welcoming you all to Evening News. You have just had the headlines. Now let's move on to the details. Russia has intensified its attacks on key Ukrainian cities, with the fighting raging for a 7th day in the northeast and south. Russian paratroopers have landed in Kharkiv in the northeast, Ukraine says, with the heavy fighting reported. People in Kharkiv, meanwhile, have been appealing for international help to stop Russia's aerial bombardment of the northeastern city. Gleb Mace-Pass, who lives in the city center, wants NATO to enforce a no-fly zone over Ukraine. Authorities there say 4 people were killed in Russian shelling this morning. In the south, Russia says it has taken control of the port of Kherson, but its mayor says it is still held by Ukrainian forces. The UN's refugees chief warned that many more vulnerable people will begin fleeing their homes in Ukraine if Russia's military offensive continues and further urban areas are hit. Filippo Grandi told reporters in Geneva that his agency has so far recorded 677,000 people fleeing from Ukraine to neighboring countries, with about half of those currently in Poland. Queues along the borders are now tens of kilometers long, and some people are having to wait days to cross. Women and children, elderly people, and some men all appeared relieved as they crossed the border after long queues on the other side. After crossing, some had people waiting to welcome them, but others waited in line to board buses taking them away from the border. Grandi criticized instances where non-Ukrainians fleeing the country had reportedly suffered discrimination, but said this did not appear to be the result of government policies.
By the fear of bombs, by the fear of destruction, and therefore, unless that stops, we are likely to see a further escalation of displacement inside and outside.
In-person classes at primary educational institutions, including schools and kindergartens, across the Bangladesh resumed on Wednesday after over a month. The students of Class 1 to Class 5 were seen to go schools from morning to join their classes in 2 shifts. At different places, the students and their parents said that they were happy with the resumption of in-person classes. The authorities are also taking extra classes to make up the learning gaps in last 2 years due to COVID pandemic. The guardians with their children were seen gathering in front of different schools in the capital, defying social distances. Following directives of the Primary and Mass Education Ministry, the primary schools were taking classes in morning and day shifts. Meanwhile, Education Minister Dipumoni said that the in-person classes will resume in the secondary schools very soon.
আগের যে ঘাটতি সেটা পুষিয়ে নেবার জন্য শিক্ষকরা যেমন চেষ্টা করবেন, তেমনি তাদেরও একটা আন্তরিক প্রচেষ্টা থাকবে। আমরা আমাদের মাধ্যমিকেও আমরা খুব শিগগিরই স্বাভাবিকের জায়গায় চলে যাবার চেষ্টা করব, এবং রেমেডিয়াল ক্লাসেসের যেটা সেই পরিকল্পনাও আমাদের আছে। আশা করছি যে এই শিক্ষাবর্ষ এবং হয়তো আগামী শিক্ষাবর্ষ মিলিয়ে যেখানে যতটুকু ঘাটতি হয়েছে সেটুকু আমরা পূরণ করতে পারব।
Newly appointed Chief Election Commissioner, CEC, Qazi Habibul Awal on Wednesday expressed his optimism that the next general election will be held in a free and fair manner. The right to vote and a congenial voting environment will be restored in line with the promise of Mujib year, Awal said while participating in a rally held in Dhaka on the occasion of National Voters' Day. After inaugurating the rally by releasing doves, CEC Awal said that voters will be able to exercise their franchise in a peaceful environment in the forthcoming general elections. This year's National Voters' Day theme, Mujibur's pledge, is to protect the right to vote and will also be implemented, he added. This is the fourth National Voters' Day observed by the Election Commission.
আমরা সবাই মিলে যদি কখনো আমাদের এই অধিকার বিঘ্নিত হয়ে থাকে আমরা আগামীতে সচেতন থাকব যেন মুহূর্তের জন্য সেই অধিকার গণমানুষের সেই ভোটাধিকার বিঘ্নিত না হয় ওরা যেন মুক্তভাবে স্বাধীনভাবে ভোটাধিকার প্রয়োগ করতে পারেন
The National Economic Council, NEC, on Wednesday approved Taka 2,07,550 crore for revised Annual Development Program (RADP) for the current fiscal year, downsizing the original ADP size of 2,25,324 crore. The approval came at a meeting of the NEC presided over by NEC Chairperson and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. She joined it virtually from Ganapabon. Other NEC members, including ministers and secretaries, attended the meeting from the NEC conference room at Sher-e-Bangla Nagar and the Cabinet Division's conference room at the Bangladesh Secretariat. The NEC endorsed the RADP cutting down the original ADP size by Taka 17,774 crore, said a Planning Division Secretary Pradip Ranjan Chakraborty at a press briefing after the NEC meeting. 4 people were killed and 2 others were injured in a collision between a van and a CNG-run auto rickshaw on the Dhaka-Sylhet highway in Brahmanbaria this morning. The accident took place in the morning when the Sylhet-bound van of Pran Arifel Group hit the CNG-run auto rickshaw at a high speed on the highway in the Rampur area of the district's Bijoynagar Upazila. 1 died in the spot while 2 of the injured died on the way to hospital. Another died at the hospital. Now cricket. Bangladesh and Afghanistan will be going into a 2-match T20 international series after concluding the ODI series last week that the hosts won 2-1. The first T20 international will start at Mirpur Sher-e-Bangla Stadium at 3 p.m. tomorrow. The T20 international series is expected to be closely fought as well. Afghanistan have proven their mettle in this format over the years and possesses the talent to challenge the home side. With the surfaces for the T20 international series in Bangladesh expected to assist spin, both teams would be banking on their rich spin bowling depth to win them games. Before ending, let's have a look on the headlines once again. Russia intensifies attacks on key Ukrainian cities as the fighting rages for 7th day in northeast and south. In-person classes at primary schools resume at secondary schools soon, says Dipumoni. People's voting rights won't be snatched anymore, says the new Chief Election Commissioner. And that's all from the newsroom for now. To know updates, videos of this bulletin, visit our website www.ntvbd.com. Besides, visit our YouTube and verified Facebook page for updates over NTV's popular programs and bulletins. Our next bulletin, Shontar Khobor, will be aired in Bangla at 7:30 p.m. Thank you for being with us. Have a good time.